Sports on Air.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are across the globe. You are tuned in to Sports on Air, and we have another special episode for you. First and foremost, my name is Ernie Fernandez. Together with me right now is Panyalong.
Good afternoon, everybody. We thank you for joining us. We have a very special guest here, Mr. Miguel. Salud.
And
Hi.
yes, Mr. Miguel Salud is with us right now. Usapang baseball po tayo ngayon. We will jot a bit, punta tayo ng konting Taglish. No? And we have also another guest host right now, no? Guest journalist na we
Yeah.
call him Mr. Choppy. And he is
Oh boy.
Ivan Saldaheno is with us right now from Dugout, Philippines.
Yes. We got Hi guys. I hope you're gonna learn a lot from Miguel Salud's life and his accolades, especially seeing his experience.
Okay, and first and foremost, Miguel, how are you doing during this pandemic? Where in the world are you right now?
I am doing good. I mean, of course, everyone could be better, but I'm in Manila, Alabang. Been back from the US, or I guess been back from abroad since November. Oh no, September.
September, and it was the lockdown started like March.
Exactly.
Unfortunately,
Like I'm abroad again.
Mhm.
How has it been for you right now, Miguel? And of course, as athletes, we've been itching to go to our own sports, and you know, for you, it's the crack of the bat, it's the smell of the field. How do you miss it, and how do you cope up with these trying times?
I miss it a lot. I really do. I'm just very happy that the MLB decided to have a season this year. So that's basically the only baseball I've been getting. And it actually sucks more because the week we went into lockdown, we were supposed to leave for a WBC, which is a World Baseball Classic qualifiers in the US, and everything got canceled. So it's not the best right now, but I know there's a lot of people and communities out there, especially here in the Philippines, trying to still teach baseball online and everything. So
And the MLB right now is a shortened season. I think that they're going to be holding it until October,
yeah, yeah,
fastest season ever.
it's crazy.
And they are still holding it at 16 games a day.
Yeah, I know.
It's still crazy. But recently, Miguel, you're getting your baseball fix. But how are you doing? How are you training right now? How are you coping up? Of course, athletes, we need to have our bodies in fine tune at all times.
Yes, true. So luckily, me and my brothers, we ended up buying gym equipment so that we could have like a home gym. So just to be safer and not, there's no public gyms available now. So being able to work out with our own equipment has been very helpful, and just doing some jogs in the village when possible. Just trying to stay fit as much as possible.
So you just staying fit. Are you cracking the bat right now? How do you do it? I mean, are you bothering the neighbors? Are you shattering windows right now? What are you doing to keep up with baseball?
Luckily, I'm a pitcher, so I don't crack the bat. I do miss it when I was younger, but I don't actually crack a bat anymore or swing a bat. I do have friends though who I heard they go to a field and they practice social distancing, but they're still able to hit the balls and get in some swings. So for me, I'm just throwing, so it's not too disturbing to anyone. And luckily, I have a field, I have a garden, so I get to play with my brothers.
And with the brothers that could catch the ball for you. Okay, Brian, you have some questions right here.
yeah, just like to ask. So it's been almost 2 or 3 years since we last spoke. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's happened to you in the past those past years?
Yeah, so the last time we talked, right after that, I went back to the US
Mm-hmm.
and I joined the summer ball league there,
Oh,
trying to, because we won the year beforehand and I wanted to be seen or get more notice, more attention. I went into that league. I did really well, but eventually nothing came, no documents and no signing. So that was fine. I after that I tried to look for another way to play or to continue playing. I found some indie ball, independent baseball league,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually I found a league in Germany. And so I took it, and it worked perfectly because my mom is Irish and I have an Irish passport. So me playing there was no problem. I mean, they didn't need to do any paperwork. So I did that for a year, and it was like a semi-professional league, and it was a lot of fun and a very good experience.
Oh, so you shifted, you brought your app to Germany, technically not,
Yeah,
huh? Oh, okay. So that's new. I didn't know that.
yeah, that was the last stunt I've done since I've been back. Yeah.
What's the? Would you know the name of this German league?
Yes, it's a Bundesliga.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, that is the thing, Miguel. But that is what we envy here in the Philippines. Sports is very much alive in the Philippines, but I wish as a kid you have more options than just playing basketball. Like
Uh,
in the US, you have those little leagues in baseball. You have those football is just starting to grow here. Um, I mean, have I looking at baseball? I was watching baseball when I was younger. It feels so serene. I mean, I like watching it, but but the thing is, you have no one to play with.
exactly.
I have no one to play with. I just roll up a sock. I try to throw it in the living room, and my mother is killing us right now. So, right now, how do you think? Maybe, what would you say if you have a chance right now to say that, hey, Philippine sports, you might as well take a look at baseball right now, because before we had good players.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got good players in back in the 90s, and what will you pitch to them as a pitcher about, hey, try putting baseball in the physical education programs?
There's a lot that I would like to say. Actually, I think it should be there. It's funny because back, like you said, back in the '90s and even before that, baseball in Asia was biggest here in Americans were coming over. They One
Yeah,
of the historic fields is Rizal Memorial, which has, of course, now doesn't look the best, but that has a lot of history. Barry Bonds has been there many times. Um, a lot of people have been there many times, and it sucks to see that the sport has died throughout the years. And so I think it would be nice to bring it back. And I do see the wave of baseball community coming back towards kids playing more baseball. But I also think another problem is people my age. When all the kids are done playing, we don't have anything.
yeah.
No tournaments, there's no for our age to play. There's no semi-pro league or even league in general. So I hope in the future they can bring it back. And there's more support in it. I hope there's more. They just invite more and more kids. That they so we grow and grow.
Okay, Ivan, you have a question there?
All right, you mentioned already about the lack of hype in baseball in the Philippines. In recent years, though, ESPN is broadcasting the UAP baseball finals live and flash. So, do you think it's a good start to at least give the baseball some media mileage?
You got to speak
Oh,
Android to understand.
oh man.
But I think Miguel, I think Ivan is spelling out. UAP has done a good job in promoting baseball, but of course, after the UAP, there's nothing there.
Yes, yes, very true. They have done a very good job, and I believe that. I do believe that. But yeah, I hope or there should be more support in after you up and for kids or for men to play men baseball and have that available. So,
And actually, that is the only coverage that I know about baseball is the college leagues here is showcasing that. But once you cover baseball, it's so nice. I mean, you go to the fields, you smell the lush green grass. I mean, it's so nice, but there's nothing afterwards. I was talking to some athletes there, and since that is the landscape right now, with baseball, how would you encourage them if they have good potential? Would you encourage them to maybe go to the United States if they wanna maybe go for the MLB or any or the minors in the US? What is your suggestion to them? What countries can accommodate them?
Well, I 100% believe in people or kids should go out and try baseball in America or wherever they can. I think it's a very good experience. I think it's very helpful. And I think we as Filipinos, we can make it in minors and MLB without a doubt, for sure. We just need the training and we just need more passion into it.
And there are some Filipino Americans that are playing in the major league right now, and it's just they don't know them. I mean, we are happy about our Filipino athletes creating waves abroad, but our MLB players, they don't know them, and they know about the MMA fighters, but not about the baseball players. What can you say about that?
Well, honestly, it's also I think not baseball's fault, but baseball's a very long sport,
Mhm.
and so I think a lot of people get I guess turned off because it's so long to follow. They have 160 games a year. It's a lot to take in, but I just think
160 games is still a lot. It's still a lot from the 1,000 games per year.
it's a lot of games. It's a lot, and it's hard. It's hard to take in. It's a lot of information. But I think if it was presented or if people learn to love it, I think it'd be everywhere. I mean, just watching a baseball game is one of the most favorite things ever. You can talk with your friends, and there's people hitting a ball like 400 feet in front of your eyes.
Ryan?
Yeah. Miguel, I just wanted to ask. You're now headed to Germany. I think this is your next step, right? Are you hooked up with the team, or are you just on the verge of hooking up with the team there?
I already had my season with Germany last year.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So we had a season. We made it to playoffs.
Mhm.
We didn't win the championships,
Mhm.
but it was an amazing experience. They wanted me to come back this year, but of
Oh,
course, with the situation, I was supposed to be there March, if
oh.
ever that was.
So,
So that
so
that
you got the exposure there. You were utilized
yes, I
immediately.
was. I got my position right away, closer, back to closer. I
Mhm.
had a lot of games. I played a lot of games. It was good. I was in the starting lineup.
Because I was looking towards to back to our last interview. I think that one of your struggles then was getting the chance to play. Right?
Yeah.
You shared to me that. Then that's why I thought of asking how it went. So it's good to know that when you got there, you already got your chance.
Yeah, exactly. I did.
So I guess they scouted you.
Yeah, they did. They
Oh,
did.
okay. No wonder.
It's funny that was in Germany. I mean, when they
Yeah.
called me, I don't even think there's baseball in Germany,
Yeah.
and they had Bundesliga.
Yep, and well, we were talking about the United, what your chances were at the States, and now you tell me you're in Germany. You're playing in Germany. We
Yeah,
didn't even discuss that before.
we didn't. We didn't. That wasn't in my books at that time.
Okay. Okay. Ernest?
Mhm.
Oh, you're reading my article, I can see.
Yeah, reading your article. But of course, right now, what is it? Talk us about the competition there, and of course the audience. How's Germany coping up with uh, with baseball right now? Do they have games already, or are they still halted with this pandemic? What is the scene in Germany?
Actually, they just started their season. I'd say 2 or 3 weeks ago. A lot of my teammates, former teammates, are there. I've been talking to them. They said it. I mean, they're saying the situation in Germany isn't so bad, or isn't that bad at all. So I mean, the league's going on, very limited crowds, very short season because they were supposed to start March, but that was pushed back to last 3 weeks ago. Um, but yeah, I mean, they're still playing. They practice every day. I see their photos, their posts, and they're getting it. They're getting it in. They're getting it in this year. And I'm happy they're able to get it in. So it sucks that I'm not able to be there. But
Nice. So I want to backtrack a bit. Okay. Right. Because of course, playing in the UAAP and very religiously in baseball. Talk us the backstory. I mean, how do
Yes.
you fall in love with baseball? When do you start? How do you start? Where did you start?
all right, back to the beginning. It was like I think I was like 8 years old. It was actually my cousin who was playing baseball and asked me and my brothers if we wanted to join him. We joined just for fun, and honestly I fell in love with it right away. I loved playing it. I made friends right away, and I just continued playing till high school. And actually, in high school, I didn't really want to play, but I pushed through, and in the end, I was very happy I stuck with it. And from then, I moved to Ateneo,
You
and
move where? You move where?
I moved to Ateneo for college.
Okay.
After high school, graduated, went to Ateneo College.
Okay. And of course, playing baseball here in the country. I mean, it's not the top of mind sport. Only some prestigious schools who have fields can expose schools in baseball. Uh, I mean, how did you find playmates? I mean, people to play with. Because I think that is the biggest challenge here in the Philippines is you going to the diamond and making a team, making a team and competing with each other.
No, that's true. That's true. Well, luckily, where I was living here in Alabang, I had my teammates were some of them were my neighbors, so I would be able to ask if they wanted to play, catch. But another thing that they had here, in the Philippines, private practice, which wasn't that expensive with the coaches we had in baseball, and
Okay.
they loved teaching us. I mean, they'd catch for us and throw balls for us all day. If we wanted. So I mean, honestly, the coaches also helped out a lot with that. Definitely.
Mhm. Okay. With the coaches, uh, how did it? The challenge with the coaches right now is how to get that fire rolling. I mean, for you, Miguel, it was continuous, and you went out. You even played professionally. How do you keep up the fire rolling here in the Philippines?
Well, for the coaches,
Yeah.
different perspective, but I do see a lot of them. Like I said earlier, a lot of them are pushing to do the online classes for baseball for kids. I mean, they're doing it every day. I see their posts about it all the time, and I think, like, honestly, the coaches here they do have the fire to
Okay.
to bring it. Definitely do, but I just feel like they don't have much support, and it's hard for them because if they're not getting support, it's hard to bring the fire. You always need support for that. So, in my perspective, I guess I just just like sea games, playing in sea games and winning sea games was a big deal. Hoping to bring some fire for baseball here. We played really well when we went to Asian Championships on October. We beat China, we beat Korea. Korea is like one of the number one teams. And that was a really good achievement for us. And I just think like we see baseball just stepping up slowly but surely, just trying to bring fire.
Okay, Ivan, you have a question there?
Okay. So you mentioned already your time in Ateneo. You won Rookie of the Year and the MVP at once. But after that, you made a twice move to a Division 3 school in USNCA. So why did you decide to transfer to that school?
Well, actually, I didn't want to leave Ateneo right away. After that year, we won. He's actually my mentor now. He's like a coach mentor, Oscar. He saw me pitch, and he said that I had really good stuff. So he said I should not waste my talent and go abroad and, see where it takes me. He supported me throughout the whole thing. He's actually the one who got me into. First, I went to a community college after Ateneo before I went to Division 3, and he helped me get into that school. And then he helped me get into the Division 3 school as well. And so, yeah, after Ateneo, I went to community college, and it was harder than I thought. But when I finished that 2 years, I moved to university. I saw my skill definitely improve and make it to the next level. I I don't regret it at all. It was the best decision, I think.
Right?
Ryan?
No, Miguel, before I remember, we talked about you had this injury. How is it doing? That rotator cuff?
It's better.
It's better. Huh?
Better. It's funny. It was good for a while, and when I played for SEA Games and that Asian Championships right before the holidays,
Yeah.
it started to hurt again, and there was some strain. So I had people look at it, but it's fine now. No problems. I just had to take care of it.
Wait, you were at the SEA Games, the last SEA Games you played there?
Yeah, he was. Oh.
I didn't know that. I would have watched you.
Look who did not do his research.
No, because during the SEA Games, I was covering a lot of sports here in Manila. Ernest knows that practically all the sports I was there, but I could get into the venues for free.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I was very busy at that time. If you only knew.
Yeah. It was very. I was very proud to represent Philippines for SEA Games.
I should have visited you.
It's okay.
Anyway.
So how did the Philippine baseball organization called you up for the SEA Games?
So I came back from Germany September, and I know a lot of the community here. So once I got back, first thing I did was go to the baseball field, ask if I can play, because I knew they were going to an Asian Championship tournament. And, the same time as me asking, they were also going to ask me to join them anyways. So it worked out perfectly. And yeah, I really wanted to represent the Philippines after 5 years, I think, or 4.
And of course, you guys captured the gold medal. What is it like? For you, for an Asian country, you guys went undefeated. Our baseball team is undefeated, of the best baseball country in the in Southeast Asia. But some countries are more into baseball than us. And how do you feel that you guys whip their asses over our own turf?
It feels good and it feels bad at the same time because we're winning, but it sucks that there's not as much people appreciating our wins as it should be.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but of course that was a good experience for you guys. But what is something that you wanted to? A gold medal is a gold medal, and how do you want to capitalize on that one? And maybe, hey, PSC, we want a gold. Maybe we could put in more funding to this thing. What is the kind of let's develop the next generation of baseball players. And if ever PSC asks you that, how involved would you be?
Oh, I'd be very involved if I could. I definitely would want to. That's one of my dreams, is to make baseball big in the Philippines again. Like, I really want that to be a thing. So if they did ask me, I would definitely put all my support with them and for them. I think it's a waste. I think it's a beautiful sport and that everyone in this country should love and play it as well.
Yeah. The only time they pay attention to baseball here is if there's something good happening internationally.
Yeah.
Exactly. Our softball team is one of the best in the world. We're number 10, or we're in top 10. That's crazy. That's literally crazy, and no one knows about it.
Maybe you can spark that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean
Wait.
you're at that level already. I mean, not a lot of people know that there's a Filipino here that's
Yeah.
playing in Germany in the international scene. And the thing that the last time we were talking, we were discussing about you trying to make the MLB,
True.
right? Which leads me to a question: is this stint in Germany part of your aspirations to go to the MLB?
Yes, it is. And I mean, I'd say more it was.
Mhm.
It was. Like I
Mhm.
went there because I wanted to continue my path and my journey to the MLB. And I was supposed to this year. And I had a lot of things lined up. But I feel that after this whole COVID thing, and especially me, I'm getting older, I kind of had to start looking at a career path for my future. That's not only so, there's a lot of things that I'm juggling now, but I'm definitely gonna stick with the baseball community as long as possible.
Mhm.
Maybe to the MLB, if it is still possible, I'll definitely do all I can for it.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's my path right now.
If you do, don't forget me.
Oh,
You know, especially if we go to the States, we Brian and I will try to get some tickets from you.
Definitely.
I'll have
Yes,
it ready.
I did not forget Miguel. I value who I interview.
Anyway, Miguel, any heroes growing up in baseball?
Um, well, as a kid, they only showed one team every morning. So Derek Jr. was one of my heroes, and I'm a big Dodger fan, and so I'm a
Others.
Dodgers. Kershaw's a very big hero of mine. I know he hasn't been playing the best, but he's still a hero of mine.
Okay, so right now, talking about the MLB, who are your favorite players, and who do you think is gonna be the COVID-19 champions?
My favorite player, honestly, is not even in the Dodgers. Is Mike. Like Mike Trout, fundamentals and everything, crazy, on point. And the Dodgers, there's a lot of players are like in the Dodgers now. We have Mookie Betts, we have Bellinger, and we have two good pitchers that are growing heat, which are Bueller, Dustin May. So those are a couple of the players. I mean, most of them are from the Dodgers because I'm a bit biased. But
Okay, so right now, what do you think about this? The worldwide movement for baseball. I mean, it's something that we can play as compared to, as compared to basketball and the football, where there's a lot of physical contact. In baseball, you just have contact whenever. I think it's the only the catcher.
I mean, you're basically social distance the whole game.
Definitely. I mean, maybe we should push more baseball right now, especially at these times. And you know what? You know, actually, Miguel, my first experience in baseball. I mean, I was part of the team of our uh, baseball team. You know, they made us wear those big as a
Um,
kid. Those helmets are bigger than your head. Okay,
yeah,
when when I went up to the plate, since your helmet is quite big compared to your head, you can see the picture. I mean, okay,
it's hard. It's
it's
hard.
great to look at the picture right there. And I was looking at our coach giving me instructions, and the pitcher just threw a wild pitch over my ear right here. So I was like, okay, okay. And then and then my coach, he went, whoa, what happened? And then, hey, you get first base. I get first base for doing that. I mean, so that was a funny experience, and everyone was clapping. So that's one of my rare baseball experiences when we were young. But we almost made it to the championships. So,
That's great.
so yeah, but I really enjoyed it. But unfortunately, we don't have. I mean, aside from playing that tournament, we don't have. I mean, people to play with.
Yeah.
But it was fun getting those wins, getting that final run to win the game.
Oh yeah, like walk-offs. Those are the best.
I mean, there was a time I was in the second base. My friend was in the third base. We need 2 runs to win, and and our team captain um, made a huge hit,
Uh,
and we were running. I mean, both of us were running, and you know, getting that winning run, and then you're cheering there already. I mean, that is something that I really miss doing. It's still fresh in my mind. But I really wanted to push baseball, but no one is playing with us. But right now, what do you say that maybe uh, what because baseball that time is just like 3 months for us, and then
yeah.
after that nothing. We're back to playing basketball. We're back to playing whatever, and we use baseball bats for fraternity initiations right now. So okay, so um, okay, Miguel. Um, if you were to say you're gonna be starting the grassroots program of the Philippines, and of course you were telling us already that you wanted to get more involved, maybe even after your career. What can you suggest as a grassroots program for the sport, and how do you start that?
Um, well, I guess one thing that I notice a lot of other countries have are I guess they're called baseball academies. They're like baseball schools, basically, where you can go and any kid can go and try out and play and try to be part of the team, part of the academy, and they'll have like trainings all the time. And basically, it's a home hub of I think of baseball of the baseball community, and they push that. And they push teaching kids, the younger ones, to keep playing baseball. I think in the future, it's inevitable that baseball will be part.
Okay, Brian, you have more?
Just asking. You're a Dodgers fan,
Yeah.
right? What
Yeah.
can you say about the Mookie Betts trade?
That's what's happened. It's crazy. It
Yeah.
happened. Because I was already mad that we were only gonna have Mookie Betts for 60 games.
Uh-huh.
It's a short. And we only had him for 1 year, and then next thing we know, we got him for 12 years.
It's a crazy contract.
It's a crazy contract,
Yeah, it's a very crazy contract.
and it's wild to think about that. There's contracts like that,
Yeah.
12 years. Wild.
True.
Baseball, it's a business thing.
But who knows? You might get one yourself one day.
Take it.
Okay, Ivan, you have a question there?
Yeah, I have a question. So you mentioned earlier that you're a Dodgers fan. So if in case you decide to declare for the draft, would you want the Dodgers to draft you, or you have another thing in mind?
100% Dodgers.
It's a no-brainer, Ivan. That is a no-brainer, Ivan. It's like saying you're rejecting the Chicago Bulls or something. I mean,
But who knows? Like, who knows? Maybe another team. Like,
no, I don't want to play for the Dodgers.
who knows? Like, who knows, right? Because the last
Question.
Filipino player in the MLB was Team Linsecum of Giants. So he played for the Giants, also pitcher. Yeah.
Filipinos love the Giants, so I love the Giants as well. So,
And
but
San
no,
Francisco is a good city to live in.
yeah.
Okay.
Nag-google lang si Ivan nag-google ka lang.
Actually, Miguel, I'm gonna ask which teams during college were, gave you the hardest time in the UAAP. Talk about those rivalries.
Was NU, who we faced in the finals. They were definitely one of the hardest teams. And LaSalle, I remember, if I'm right, were a tough team just because they were like a rival to us. I remember they weren't the best that year, but just for some reason when we played them, it was a tough time. And I had added to the pressure. But besides that, I mean, everyone that year played well, but I think NU
Okay. So, and you, what made them difficult to handle during that year?
Um, well, they were the defending champions for one, so they had all the confidence in the world, and they didn't lose a lot of seniors from the year prior. So they still basically had the same team against a lot of juniors. So there was that factor as well with them.
Ivan, you were covering baseball before.
Yeah, I did. So you already mentioned LaSalle, right? So we all know Aten and LaSalle, they're rivals in basketball, but right now they're now spilling to volleyball, eventually baseball. I've seen a couple of times that there was an Aten LaSalle final. So how do you like that this rivalry has now spilled to other sports?
I'm sorry. What was the last
Yeah,
part?
yeah. How does it like that the Aten and LaSalle rivalry has now spilled to the likes of baseball to volleyball?
Like the rivalry goes to all
Yeah,
sports.
yeah.
I mean, I just think that's a thing. I mean, even in the U.S., any sport, there's a rivalry. UCLA, USC, they're gonna clash and they're gonna fight no matter what sport, no matter what, even if it's not a sport.
Hmm.
So I just think that's something that carries on through every athlete, and it's something that sticks with them because they wear it in the jersey.
Right?
Hey, Brian.
Miguel, up to you're 24 now. Am I right?
26.
26.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can play baseball up to 40, Brian.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna ask anyway. Are you giving yourself any time frame up to when you're gonna play the sport or something like that?
No, not really. Maybe competitively. Maybe
Mhm.
I'll have a time for that. I'd say I want to say 30, but it depends on how far I am with
Mhm.
that. But yeah, so I'd say like around 30. But I'll still be playing as much as I can.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking that is because I mean your folks are also looking at you to run your business,
Yeah,
right? And
true.
I assume that you're doing that right now. You're helping out.
Uh,
You're already trying.
no, I'm not. I'm kind of
Oh.
doing one thing right now,
Uh-huh.
just for now. Definitely in the future, I will be helping out my family business. But I got my older brother and a bunch of cousins who are kind of handling that right now. So I got time.
Oh, okay. Okay. All
I
right.
think it's more because I've been playing baseball this whole time, and
Mhm.
my cousins and my brothers, they've done their own work. They've done work that's not family work. So I
Mm.
just kind of want to find my own path before I just get into the family business.
What are you into right now aside from baseball? What are those businesses that you're trying to get yourself into?
Well, I opened with my uncle. We opened it's a co-working space in BGC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what I got right now going, and then baseball in the side.
Oh, all right.
Co-working space. What is the name of the place, by the way?
It's called Work Studios. It,
Work Studios. I heard of that.
oh, nice. Yeah, it's new. It's in BGC. It's a very good spot. So
And there's so many co-working spaces popping out right now.
yeah, nga, I
Yeah,
noticed.
but it's something really good. And talk about entrepreneurship, Miguel. How are you into this? I mean, of course, baseball is also a business, and maybe soon, how would you mix the two?
Well, that's the one thing I loved about baseball. It's such a humbling sport that everything I've learned from it, I can translate it into the working place or into my regular life. So now that I'm working and I'm helping out my uncle run this business. I'm bringing all the little fundamentals I've learned from baseball into this. Like, there's a lot of things, leadership to following orders and just being on time. Very regular minor mechanics and technical stuff.
Okay, and with of course entrepreneurship in the back of your mind, I want to ask about, of course, um, maybe you can start something here and putting up maybe a baseball academy and maybe putting up lessons,
Yeah,
earn from it.
Oh, I'd love to do that. If I can open my own baseball academy and have a baseball facility for everyone, every team who wants to use it, can use it. That's definitely the dream. But yeah, just gotta make money first.
Yeah.
And I often go to Sunday in Alabang Country Club. Okay,
Oh,
and I see the baseball community beside the youth football league. So I see the baseball. It's well alive there. But how often are you going to these kinds of getting more involved in the youth?
well, recently not so much. I haven't gone to any of the youth tournaments or anything like that. I feel I've been very busy this year, but definitely in the future, I would want to attend all these things. Um, I did get an offer from my friends back in Germany. It's like a coaching consultancy agency for like it's basically trying to start a baseball academy ish in Germany, their own, and he wants me to kind of start my own here in the Philippines. So I mean that's not set in stone or anything. It's something we've talked about. So it's getting there. Hopefully it will get there.
Okay, Ivan, you have more there.
I have one more question. So you already mentioned the development of baseball among the kids. Do you think do you think a professional league locally in the Philippines is what we need to further boost the game? Oh gosh.
Is that a question, Ivan?
Google Translate natin, baka mano. Wait.
Yeah. No, wait. So going back, so wait, so you already mentioned the baseball academy developing the game among kids and maybe even the adults. So do you think we need a professional league, a baseball professional league in the Philippines to further boost the game?
Well, I don't think. Of course, I would love for there to be a professional baseball league, but I don't think that's a good place to start. I think it's more of getting the country to understand and want to watch baseball first before we move to professional. Maybe having a semi-professional league, something like I did in Germany, or maybe even a bit lower than that would be. I mean, there used to be Philippine baseball, I think it was called. Baseball.
I think they call it baseball Pilipinas.
Yeah, baseball Filipinas, I think.
Yeah.
And that I think that was perfect. There was Dumaguete against Manila Sharks against all these teams, and I think that's where it should start for at least for the adults and for us to go towards professional league.
But unlike the likes of eventually the PFL, PBA, it lacked the baseball Pilipinas league, and eventually I think they folded, I believe. So what went wrong in that league? That if
Uh,
in case a new league comes up, need to improve on.
so you asked if what happened to that league?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was the money. There was no support anymore. People weren't watching, and all the games were held in one facility that wasn't taken care of. I mean, it was Rizal Memorial, and after a while, people weren't coming to watch, and there wasn't that much support, basically. So eventually, it shut down, and leadership too.
Okay, Brian, you have something there.
Yeah. I'll put you in a spot, Miguel. So, for example, the POC or the PSC asks you to lead the development of baseball here, or they give you a position or something like that. And then at the same time, you get a call from MLB. That what would you choose?
Um, honestly, I would choose MLB, but not for the selfish reasons. I think if I chose MLB, I can be seen to people here as more, like more of someone to look up to.
Yes.
If I were
Hmm.
And being in MLB will also give me more say
Mm.
in things here in the Philippines for baseball. So I think it would help out the baseball community if I were to go to the MLB first and then help out the community back here.
Even if the MLB team that calls you is not the Dodgers?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, that would be something if you would be the first. I think correct me if I'm wrong. You would be the first Filipino to make it to
Native.
MLB.
Yeah.
No.
Not the first Filipino. So there's Lincecum, but if ever there's native, like born and raised Filipino.
Oh, all right. Well, that would be something still.
Yeah, there are a lot of Filipino Americans that are playing in the MLB right now. But anyway, Miguel, before we let you go, I want you to maybe give us, for those who want to pursue baseball here in the Philippines, and what is the thing that you would advise them to do, and of course think about a future in playing the sport.
Um, Definitely don't stop playing. Even with this whole situation, try to find a friend or a brother or a sister, and keep playing baseball. Don't give up. Every opportunity you have, take it. Put your 150% in it every single time. You never know. You never know. Someone might be there, and you could get called. And yeah, I mean, it's it's an amazing experience for anyone to go play baseball abroad. And hopefully in the future, that feeling can be felt here in the Philippines.
Okay, Brian, Ivan, anything more?
Ivan,
Na malinaw yung tanong ha.
nag-freeze pa.
I have more questions.
My gosh.
Oh, gosh. Sorry. So, okay, here we go. Did you call up to the national team for the World Baseball Classic?
Kaya nahihirapan ng video editor natin dahil dyan eh.
Hello?
Sorry, it's very choppy.
Yeah, that's why he's Mr. Choppy.
Hello?
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 Ano talaga, Ivan, nag-freeze siya.
Nabisi bigla ako. Yeah.
Ayun, tawag mo na sa cellphone.
Suddenly, my mode.
Ha? Wala na talaga, Ivan. Ano na talaga tayo? But anyway,
Type mo na lang.
Okay na ako.
type mo na lang. Papa-edit na lang natin kahit mahirapan yung editor natin.
Type mo na lang. Si Ernest magtatanong.
Cut na lang natin yung ano. kaya napaano si Eric eh. Lumabas yung bato eh.
Our video editor's in the hospital because of him.
It's continuous.
Sila type. Huwag mo na ka magsalita, type mo na lang kasi.
Wait lang.
Galit mo. But Miguel, any plans? You have no immediate plans of moving or traveling soon?
Oh, not now. I mean, there was the qualifiers supposedly, and then after that, was supposed to go back to Germany, but as of now, nothing. I mean,
So
Germany asked me to come back, but I couldn't.
So you're gonna spend the whole year here in the Philippines, technically, if this was just December.
First time for a long time.
Well, it's still good to spend time with the family right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right spot. And okay, we got a question here from Ivan Saldaheno, who is called Mr. Chappy. When you're called up for World Baseball Classic, if were you called up for World Baseball Classic? If yes, how is it like to possibly team up with Tim Tebow?
Tim Tebow. Yeah, that's why. That's the tournament that I was supposed to leave for,
Oh.
and that week was canceled, and I was supposed to be teammates with Tim Tebow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was gonna be
Damn COVID.
Damn COVID.
it's crazy. But yeah, I was very excited for that. It looked like it was gonna be a good tournament. Germany was gonna be in that qualifier, so I knew a bunch of players there. And yeah, it sucks that it didn't happen, and it's not gonna happen until 2021, like 2020, or even longer. I think it's till 2023.
Mhm.
Oh,
Girit ka pa
Na,
rin.
Ivan.
I saw B's report, and it said that it was postponed to October. So does that mean it was rescheduled again?
So this October?
Yeah, it was reported by B Go of Raptor. That was last March.
Oh, March? No, I don't. I don't think there's no qualifiers happening now.
Okay, so they canceled already. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Right.
And, Brian, anything more?
Yeah, I just forgot to ask Miguel. How did they call you up from Germany? How did I mean?
Oh, yeah.
How did you end up there? Yeah. How?
Oh, well, I was putting my name up in a bunch of like, one site is called Baseball Jobs Overseas. It's one of
Okay.
There's such a thing. Like,
yeah, I was surprised. I didn't know. I was basically looking for anything, so I just kind of put my name and my stats in everything and anything I could find, and that was the one thing that helped me get seen. And to help me out with that even more, my mentor coach Oscar, he knew one of the coaches in Germany, and luckily the coach that I played for.
Mhm.
So after putting my stats up there and my coach, doing some calls, they called me and that's how we connected.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that there's such a thing. There's such a thing.
Overseas.com.
jobsinbaseball.com. I mean, yeah. Just easy as that.
Yeah.
But anyway, Miguel, thank you very much for spending time with us. It was a pleasure, and of course, we are still, of course, we would love to see you play for the Major League Baseball soon, and hopefully, maybe with Tim Tebow or whatever. Okay, so anyway, in behalf of Ivan Saldaeno, who just went out, and Brian Yalong, for Sports on Air, we are signing off, and stay tuned for our don't forget to subscribe and like the YouTube page and the Facebook page. We will be coming up with a lot of more exciting guests in the field of Philippine sports, so stay tuned and stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Click the subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified with our latest videos.